Hi friends, I got another dream for you. And this one was the one, I think I incorrectly titled a dream that I posted about the San Diego, or the volcanic eruption that I saw taking place just like south of the border of San Diego, Mexico. I titled that one It Overtook Us, but it was a similar setting, very, very similar. I in fact thought that the dream that I posted was in fact this dream, but it wasn't. And I actually have a date and a time. Cool. I called it It Overtook Us or It Overtook Them. It was one of the two, but I saw those words at the end of the dream. So since I wasn't sure, I wrote down both titles. And this dream occurred on October 3rd, 2004, somewhere between 8 and 9 a.m. So I think the one time I put a date in there, what was wrong with me? But anyway, from this point on, you can best believe I'm writing down dates and times and things, and circumstances. So here we go. My mom talked my sister and I, actually my sister talked my mom and I into, and it seems like another person, into driving up to San Diego to visit a lady that I don't know who this lady is, but she's just in the dream. I never got to see her, but anyhow, we arrived and we were excited. It must have been on the weekend because there were a lot of people home, kids playing in the street, people outside talking and carrying on the normal outdoor weekend activities. The neighborhood was bustling with activity. We all got out of the car, which was parked just across the street, perpendicular to where the house was. My dad was with us. In real life, he's gone on to be with the Lord. He passed at 97. He had a major heart attack, but he's at rest now. So anyhow, where was I? Okay, so my dad was with us and said that he wanted to go to the mall and that he would walk on ahead of us. We were going to meet him there in a little while. We wanted to meet with the lady first and get situated, so he went on. We decided to take our time and walk through the neighborhood to get to the mall, and we never made it inside of the lady's house for whatever reason. I don't recall us talking to her either, but anyway, we rounded the corner making a left turn, and as soon as we arrived in the middle of the street, I saw a hill that was adjacent to this neighborhood. It was like situated literally like there's the hill, and then there's people's backyards, and there's their homes. A small amount of smoke was billowing gently from the side of this hill. It looked like a cloud and reminded me of a dingy-colored cotton. It started to have a grayish-black appearance, and the vapors were starting to move more rapidly. And I asked my sister, "What's that?" She said, "Oh, that's a volcano." I said, "A volcano? Well, why do the clouds look like that? What is that?" It looked weird and felt eerie to me. My sister said, "It's getting ready to erupt." I said, "What? Why did you bring us here knowing that there was a volcano getting ready to erupt? We were safe back at home." I remember thinking how far away we could have or would have been from the disaster if we had been at home. Before we could get another word out, an explosion came. Out of the side of the hill blew up medium and other-sized lava bombs which looked like red glowing rocks. They shot out everywhere at random. We stood and watched the beginning of the devastation. We then began to see lava start to shoot up and down and spew out jets or small streams coming from and landing back to the mouth of the volcano. Let me interpret that for you. That was a mouthful. Whoa. So what I'm seeing here is like the lava and the little rocks spewing up and back into the mouth of the volcano, up and out, spewing out like that. So next thing we saw, it hadn't begun to flow yet. It was getting ready to start pouring out. The homes immediately adjacent to the hill were not going to make it, and neither were the people. Kids were dropping their bikes and began running every which way. People watched and screamed in horror, trying to get away. No one expected this. I thought to myself, we don't have volcanoes in California. What happened? This was unexpected. This isn't supposed to happen here. Not in California. And I put an exclamation point. This is unbelievable. When we saw that magma start to spew, we turned and ran for our lives. As we were rounding the corner, I said, "What about Daddy? We have to find him and get him out with us." Mom told me, "Don't worry about him. He's fine. He'll be all right. We have to make it now." As we ran closer to the car, occasionally glancing back to see what was happening and how far or close we were, or it was getting close to us, I then said, "Well, what about the lady? We've got to go back and get her." And I said, "We got to go get the keys out of her house, and we have to get her out." Now, I don't know why I said the key statement, because we never went into her house. We never made it in there. And then I told my sister, "Do you have the keys?" And as she pulled them out shaking and said, "Yes." Then someone told me, I heard a voice say, "We can't worry about the lady. We don't have time. We have to make it out for ourselves now." It was a thought like it's either our lives or hers right now. We still felt hope and felt like there was still possibly time to make it out alive if we continued moving and didn't go back to try to save others. There would have been time before, but not now. Self-preservation. We had to make it. So we ran to the car. My sister, with her keys shaking very badly in her right hand, was going to try to unlock the door so that we could get in and leave. I was then waking up, wondering as my dream began to fade away, if she ever got the car open and if we ever made it out, if we could make it out in time and safely. So I woke up before I could see the answers to those questions. I immediately heard a voice in my mind while I was awake, and just before I opened my eyes, he said to me, "Judgment is coming. Judgment is coming. Judgment will rain down on the cities." It made me think of the bits and pieces of lava rocks or bombs that in and of themselves could do major damage because of their intense heat. They were landing any and everywhere and could set fires or kill people in contact. That's all apart from the lava flow and major eruption itself. This truly was just the prelude. So, wow, that was pretty interesting. I know I was kind of stumbling over my words there. I apologize, but and I do write very neat, but I couldn't read my own writing. So, anyhow, I hope you get the gist of that message. I'll let the Lord give you the interpretation for yourself. Maybe it's literal, maybe it's figurative. I'm not for sure, but only He knows. And again, as I always like to stress in my videos, be safe. Above all, be spiritually prepared, because you never know when we're going to be there last. And I hate to be so negative, I don't want to be negative, but I just never know when disaster will strike, because it does always and often come without warning. So God bless you, be blessed, and be safe. And if you have not accepted Christ as your personal Savior, it's never too late. God bless you. Take care.